someone, or are you personally battling a drug and alcohol addiction? Why are so many people addicted today? And why have so many people died as a direct result of this disease? If you've been affected by this problem and want answers like we do, then join us in our efforts to face this disease. Our purpose is to examine the truths, expose the lies, and uncover and provide resources to this affliction. Come, join us in this journey. Welcome to Season 2 of Addiction and Recovery TV. Join us today for a special broadcast as we journey through the addiction treatment services provided at Enlighten Solutions in Atlantic County, New Jersey. We're going to see the full spectrum of treatment today. So if you yourself are struggling with addiction, or you know someone that is, you don't want to miss this broadcast. And we also want you to know that if you don't have insurance or funding and aren't able to receive these services that you'll see today, please know that if you call this number on your screen today throughout the broadcast, we're here to help you. And Enlighten Solutions is personally offering a scholarship to someone who may be suffering and not able to receive services otherwise. So please stay tuned and pay close attention to the number that comes up on your screen. Reach out and give us a call and enjoy the Enlighten Solutions here on Addiction and Recovery TV.
When you've tried everything else.
There was a time as a mother that I felt as though my daughter wasn't going to survive this.
When I got here, I was on the brink of death. They helped carry me when I didn't believe in myself. And I can honestly say it's the happiest I've been in years.
Enlighten Solutions has given me my daughter back, and for that, I'm very grateful.
Enlighten Solutions. Recover successfully.
Hi, welcome back to Addiction and Recovery TV. I'm here in the Enlighten Cafe in Ventnor, New Jersey, and I'm sitting with Jen Hansen and Rob Schneider. Please help me welcome my guests, Jen and Rob. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
This is just the beginning. Today we're going to highlight the whole gamut of what Enlighten Solutions has been doing and how they've been changing and evolving and growing in the world of recovery. So last time when I met with Enlighten Solutions, we just really talked about the treatment model. We looked at the whole process from coming into treatment, working within the treatment, living in sober living, and kind of just explore that whole journey. Now, things have changed, and why did they change? What did you guys decide to do different, and why?
Well, I think that we keep on, as we do more, we keep seeing the need for more. We keep identifying the problems and the reasons why people aren't able to be successful at recovery, and we try and adjust those problems as they come up.
So how did you bring the detox intertwined with everything else at Enlighten?
It was a whole different thing. It's a medical facility, so we had to basically learn how to run a hospital.
Jen said this started basically out of a need for folks that were coming out of detox that were still withdrawing, and they weren't being set up for success in their aftercare.
Okay.
So we started a detox. We extended that, where we added residential for the folks that needed more stay. So when they come to us, it isn't like, hey, day 5, you're out of here. Day 6,
Right.
you're out of here. If we don't do detox right, then we're not getting them to the next level of care. And that's where the therapy really begins. And then where the rubber meets the road is when they step down and they're in their IOP and they're back in society. That's where the challenges and struggles lie ahead of them. So
Sure.
if we can guide them and through our process, and we consider that our recipe, our pathway to enlightenment. And when a client follows that pathway, we see the evidence at alumni. We hear the evidence from the phone calls from the family members, and we have folks calling us all the time like, how can I give back? How can I help? How can I volunteer? And folks volunteer at the farm, and there's events here at this cafe, and a lot of these events are free. This is all nonprofit, the cafe.
Amazing. So this is Enlighten Cafe is sitting here in the heart of Ventnor, and Rob's telling us about how this cafe is not only servicing the individuals that are in treatment through Enlighten, but it's a community cafe. And the culture of recovery is here in the community. You're setting an example. So,
Yeah, and it definitely goes to reduce the stigma
Yep.
around
Okay.
addiction, because they can see that like people are getting better, and they know that everyone that works here is in recovery and has gone through their struggles in life. And a lot of them, a lot of the people that come in that are just, customers or want to talk to our staff and want to find out like what they went through and how they did it, and maybe they have a family member that's struggling and they feel like they can come in here and talk to somebody. We're trying to really reduce the stigma of people with addictions and get some awareness out there and connect them to the general community.
I'm standing inside Enlighten Cafe. I'm at the register, and I want to introduce you to Charlie. Charlie is someone who has gone through the Enlighten Solutions program, and now he works at the cafe, and he's a success story. So hi there, Charlie. How you doing?
Hello, Charlene. I'm good.
How's the coffee here?
Very good.
So everything here is organic, first of all, right?
Yes.
So you went to Enlighten Solutions. Tell us a little bit about your journey and how you're here today.
Well, I met Jen Hansen through a mutual friend, and we began to have a conversation on the phone, and which led to me getting a scholarship and coming down here to Enlighten Solutions.
We talk about the grassroots, and we talk about Enlighten Solutions not only being a business but also looking out for the still suffering addicts. And here we have an example of Charlie.
I know for me, the hardest thing for me to do was to be honest with somebody else and tell them what was actually going on. But that moment of honesty, when I told somebody what was really going on, is what started the whole journey. The whole journey began with the kindness of strangers, allowing other people to get to know me and to do for me something that I couldn't do for myself.
Wow. Very interesting story. We loved hearing it, and I think I'm going to have a cup of that coffee. So
Sounds good.
awesome. We're going to take you to the detox. We're going to check out the main campus, go to the farm, and really get an inside look. So join us as we go to the next part and see what's going on behind the walls at Enlighten Solutions.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome back to Addiction and Recovery TV. We're here at Enlighten Solutions, the detox. This is the first step, the first level of treatment that we're going to show you today with Enlighten Solutions. And so we're here with Caitlin, and she's going to talk to us about the intake process and what Enlighten Solutions Detox does and what they offer. So welcome, Caitlin, and thank you for joining us. And we're glad you're here today. Welcome.
Thank you.
So tell us, what is Enlighten Solutions Detox? Because this is a new component to Enlighten Solutions. So the detox is, how long is the program here?
So we treat the individual, it's all based on the individual, depending on the substance they're coming off of. Usually it's 7 to 10 days. We do have a residential program as well that allows them to stay longer if need be. So that could be maybe because they're getting the Vivitrol shot, maybe, not everyone has the opportunity to go to treatment or go to a sober living, so we keep them here longer.
Well, Ken, you would probably agree with this. I know in years past, one of the dilemmas that we faced with detox is that they would just send you out after maybe it was only a 3-day program and you weren't allowed to stay any longer, and you just got exited out of the detox and you were left kind of stranded. So you're saying here at Enlighten Solutions Detox, that's not the case.
Absolutely not.
You can stay longer. And
Correct.
That's a good thing, more personalized service.
Yep.
Treating the person that's walking through the door for what they need, not basically what they can afford or can't afford based on insurance.
Correct.
So at the detox, I'm looking here in the pamphlet and talking about the services. So the counseling and the everything, there's so much that happens here. It's not
Yeah,
just
they're
when
full
you
day.
go to the main campus. You don't have to wait. In detox, you're getting more than just medicated.
Of course. So to give you a little idea, in the morning they have their clinical meeting. So we'll have a check-in group at 9:30. We have breakfast at 8:30. Check-in group around 9:30. They have their first clinical meeting at 10. That's about an hour long. They get a break, and then at 11:15 their next clinical meeting. Every day of the week we have ancillary services that come in. So that could be acupuncture, Reiki, that could be yoga. We have music therapy. all types of different things. Massages that come in, they love the massages.
They're coming in, they're getting the medical attention they need, and then we're getting right into the recovery process. So we're here at the detox now. Next step, we want to get them over to the main campus of Enlightened Solution, right?
Here, the main goal would be to get off the drug, any substance. And then we're working up like a discharge plan.
Okay.
And the individual is a part of their discharge plan.
So we're here at the detox with Enlightened Solutions, and this is the beginning of the journey, but we're going to take you through to the main campus, Enlightened Solutions. So thank you, for joining us. Hi, Charlene DeChico here with Addiction and Recovery TV. I'm sitting at the main campus for Enlightened Solutions, and Miss Lisa Cordasco is the social worker and also the clinical director here at the main campus. So Lisa, tell us a little bit about what you do here to keep operations going for individuals that come in for treatment.
Sure. So over here at this campus, we refer to it as our main campus. This is really the kind of meat of the clinical programming and the clinical experience for clients. This is where our partial care programming happens, also some of our intensive outpatient. So we really take clients through the entire continuum of care, and this is, you know, kind of really that bulk of it in the middle of their stay. So after they've been medically stabilized, they come over here, and this is where we really get the opportunity to dig into to therapy.
Sure. What do you think that you guys do that really works and helps addicts from a clinical standpoint?
Yeah, great. And I love that we have the opportunity to talk about that, because I think that's very true. We offer all these wonderful holistic programs, but I'm so proud of the clinical program that we've built. So, I mean, it starts with the team.
Okay.
We have an amazing clinical team. The majority of my clinicians are master's level. The majority of my clinicians are not only addictions counselors, but also mental health counselors. So we are a co-occurring program. We believe that it's so important to look at the whole picture. So the substance use is just, you know,
stemming from a mental health.
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg. So that's just the most obvious symptom of what it is that's going on. So when clients come in here, we really want to start to look at peeling back those layers.
Okay.
And starting to identify and really explore, well, what's going on underneath this? What's going on behind this? What precipitated the substance
Sure.
use?
And so now here they are, they're coming to the facility, coming to main campus. And what does a day in the life of treatment here at the main campus look like?
Great question. So we start every day, like I said, it's about that team. While the clinical team is meeting every morning, all the clinicians meet with myself, the executive director. We talk about the plan for the day. We really try to tailor each day around what's going on with this community and with these clients. So we pick specific group topics and decide who's going to be in what group based on the needs of the individual and the needs of the community. So while our clinical team is doing that for an hour every morning, our clients are engaging in their morning holistic services. They're starting their day with meditation, with acupuncture, with yoga, to really kind of set that intention. And then they're moving into their more intensive clinical groups. And they'll be in their clinical group that they're assigned to for that day for about 3 hours with some breaks in between. So it's really, we're digging in. We're doing a lot of work during that time. Topics that we might focus on could be anything from, we have a trauma-focused track, so they might be engaging in a trauma-specific group. We also have a dialectical behavioral therapy track.
What is that?
I'd love to tell you about that. So that's something I'm really proud of. We've been doing our DBT adherent track for a little over a year now. So DBT is a specific type of behavioral therapy. It's an evidence-based therapy. It was originally developed for people who struggled with really severe chronic suicidal ideation, self-harm behavior, emotional dysregulation, and more it's been strongly evidence-based for this population because it's focused on giving people a specific skill set to learn how to regulate their emotions.
Well, we're talking about the clinical aspect of treatment and recovery and kind of how this backbone is so foundational in the arena or under the umbrella of receiving treatment. And Lisa's talking to us today, and we're really getting a lot of insight because this just sounds so structured. It sounds so it's like relieving to know that you can come here and people are just going to help you get on track.
So this is an ofrenda. Today is actually November 1st, which is Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, which is a traditional Mexican holiday. We had created this ofrenda as an expressive arts directive with our clients, a little bit of a different take on grief. So we do a lot of trauma and grief work that we talked about in our program, and we do a lot of creative approaches as well. So this was really an opportunity to work with the clients on framing loss from a different perspective. So instead of it being this really somber thing, instead for it to be able to be viewed from the perspective of a celebration and being able to really celebrate together the memory and the experience of our loved ones, and to create something as a community to really honor that.
Hi, welcome back to Addiction and Recovery TV. I'm your host, Charlene DeChico.
I'm Ken McDonald.
And we are here at Enlighten Farm with the lovely Brianna B. Welcome, Brianna B.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Brianna.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we're seeing so much expansion with Enlightened, and here we are at the farm. We're actually standing inside of the greenhouse, and these are actual plants that Brianna B is holding.
So we're a program for individuals in recovery. We support them when they're in treatment through horticulture therapy, and when they're done treatment, they have a space to come and heal and be outside in nature through our farm co-op program.
So first they're over at Enlightened, and then this is a transition point from Enlightened. Wow. So in dealing with addicts and knowing with recovery, and they're receiving treatment from all levels, now this is a different approach. So how have you seen that the farming has really, changed, or what has that brought about to this model of recovery?
I'm a farmer and horticulturist, and really I got into that through just public health, being interested in how we take care of ourselves and our bodies, and through that I really saw the healing potentials in farming and plants, and then just started working at a farm and learning as much as I could.
So, like, for instance, if Ken was wanting to learn how to get a green thumb if he were to come over to the farm, what do you think the experience he would get from this? What do you think he would learn by being a part of Enlightened Farm?
Getting your hands dirty?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely getting your hands dirty. It's humbling being outside in all of the conditions.
Yes, it is, yeah. Like the conditions today.
Yeah.
What's on the horizon for Enlightened Farm?
Yeah, thank you. We are really looking forward to developing a job transitional program called Solid Roots, so that individuals, when they're finished treatment, have a safe and healing space to work, become stable, grow roots in a healthy community with peers doing the same thing, so that they can transition to the next phase of life with confidence and stability.
Awesome. And so Michelle and Elle, they've both gone through the program that Brianna B was telling us about. And so we heard from Brianna about how you transitioned. Both of you are at Enlightened, the treatment center, right? And so you've transitioned over working in the farm. So Michelle, tell us a little bit about what that's been like for you.
Enlightened Solutions went above and beyond for me. Things that I loved the most were, I love transplanting.
What's your role here at the farm?
We all kind of pitch in with everything. I love the flowers. They're so beautiful.
How would you advise someone that may be watching that, needs some help to get involved or call Enlightened?
I would say pick up the phone. My experience has been that they do everything possible to get you into treatment. It's just like their mission. That's what they want to do. They want to help people. And I'm so grateful, very grateful that I was able to.
I think gardening and farming is such a great way to overcome fear, and we only learn through experience. So be bold, put some seeds in some soil near a window, or if you have space outside, just start growing outside. Herbs are a great way to get started, some fresh cooking herbs or even microgreens. And if you want to learn more tips and things like that, you can follow the Instagram page, and we put stuff up.
Pete is not only an alumni at Enlightened and Enlightened Farm, he also volunteers here, and he lives in the sober living. So Pete is really embedded in the Enlightened process.
This place helped save my life, and the least I could do is give back to what was so freely given to me. And And the community's great here. Like, I've never found a place where I fit in so well and don't have to try to fit in. Like, I just be myself. And, like, never have I found a place where working is fun. Like, I come and I volunteer, and it's really just hanging out with friends.
Right.
And I'm giving back. Like, it makes me feel good, and it allows me to help others.
You're in South Jersey or in Atlantic County, take a ride out here and check it out. And if you're watching, call us if you need help or you know someone that struggles with addiction and would benefit from an amazing treatment center like this with extended continuum care, which is very important. Give us a call and we'll help you get in touch with the right people. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is our body sound chair here at Enlighten Solutions, a really fantastic holistic tool that we're able to utilize to help people who are struggling with anxiety, post-acute withdrawal, including poor sleep, or even if just somebody's having a really rough day. It uses a combination of sound and vibration to help induce a relaxed and meditative state. State that you end up getting kind of walked into through the use of the body sound chair is a theta state. And what that is it refers to that particular type of brainwave that we really want to be able to experience when we're relaxed, when we're calm, when we're meditative. It pairs a particular soundtrack on the iPod along with vibrations that are evenly distributed throughout the chair. For many of our clients, rather than having to take something to relieve that sensation of anxiety, the hope is that through the use of the body sound chair, they can condition their brain and their body to begin to relax more naturally.
Family constellations are a little different than traditional family therapy. Unlike traditional therapy, we turn the brain off and we feel. Family constellations are about inclusion of all family members. They're all the issues that we think about but don't deal with, that we're not taught to deal with. Gee, where does it go? We never really know where it's going to go until it goes there. If we're angry with someone in our family system, we somehow, through seeing what has happened to them, find empathy. The idea here is to try to get these people who are in such trauma to resolve a few things, to lighten their load. I'll just pull the didgeridoo out, and I'll play the didgeridoo, and everybody calms down, and then they become willing. If you get them to feel a little bit better, they have a little more hope, because I just like to see people heal, you know. It's huge.
When you've tried everything else.
There was a time as a mother that I felt as though my daughter wasn't going to survive this.
When I got here, I was on the brink of death. They helped carry me when I didn't believe in myself. And I can honestly say it's the happiest I've been in years.
Enlighten Solutions has given me my daughter back, and for that, I'm very grateful.
Enlighten Solutions. Recover successfully.
Charlene DeChico here with Addiction and Recovery TV. We're looking forward to another great season here at Addiction and Recovery TV. Thank you for tuning in and supporting us in our efforts. This season on Addiction and Recovery TV, we'd like to highlight some spiritual aspects of dealing with mental health. Hopefully this season we will provide inspiration and hope for any and all those that are watching our broadcast.
Have you ever felt like you're unsure of the future or think that your past is going to stick with you? Do you have feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, and maybe no one believes in you or you don't believe in yourself? Well, my name is Joe, and I'm here to tell you that if you check in with Addiction Recovery TV, we have plenty of stories of people like that, including myself. We ask that you tune in, contact us, and get to know stories of other people like yourself to give you some hope and some feedback and a new outlook on life and how to move forward, because it's possible.
At Addiction and Recovery TV, we talk about raising awareness, and we also talk about the problems and situations revolving around addiction and recovery. And it's always important to remember that if you struggle in an area and you're looking for help or resources, there are plenty available. And sometimes it just takes picking up the phone and making one simple phone call that can make all the difference. So remember, we're always available, and we're ready to help you in any way that we know possible, and definitely lead you in the right direction, because along the pathway of darkness, there is a light of hope along those roads. So hopefully you will be open to see the light and walk in that direction. So if it's mental health, if it's addiction, even suicide, the help is always readily available. Just take that initiative to reach out and receive it.
Many people have been touched by addiction, either directly or indirectly. Join us as we educate and break the stigma associated with addiction. Together, we can start a revolution and bring the disease out of the darkness and into the light.
I was 26 years old. I was sitting in my truck in the parking lot of a movie theater getting high.
I was an outcast my whole life, I didn't know where I belonged.
Knocking my head against the wall over and over and over again.
So I came to Narcotics Anonymous. I heard a message. I made my ears pop.
People who I can relate to and identify with. Managed to heal relationships, start families, and be happy with life.
Drug problem? We can help. We've been there. Narcotics Anonymous.